From New York City, it's Wendy Williams. Today, the first couple eliminated from Dancing with the Stars, Keyshawn Johnson and his partner Sharna drop by. Plus, a very special visit from Sesame Street's Cookie Monster. And all the latest juicy hot topics. Now, here's Wendy.
Box. Doing okay today. We've got a great show planned for you. Lamar Odom's dad is lashing out at the Kardashians. And Britney Spears' Vegas show is already in trouble. Plus, Nene battled Greg's kids last night on I Dream of Nene. Nene won. Let's talk about it and more. It's time for Hot Topics. Thank you so much for being here. Last night, I mixed the perfect turkey meatloaf. I say all that to say everything was cleaned up by the time I Dream of Nene came on. But I mixed the perfect turkey meatloaf. Sometimes turkey, when you use it by itself, tends to be as hard as my elbow. You know what I mean? And then you have to put a little beef in there and trick the family and tell them it's all turkey. But last night it was 100% turkey, and here goes my smart mouth son. Because, you know, turkey is very, very white. It doesn't visually sometimes look so appealing in the meatloaf, you know? And so here he goes. He says, "Mommy, what is this?" I said, "It's all turkey meatloaf." He said, "Well, why doesn't it always look like that?" I said, "Just be quiet, it's a different mix." Anyway, so the dishes were cleaned up, the homework was done, my shower was taken, and I was perched for I Dream of Nene. Yeah! Good. Okay, so, you know, the premise of the show is that Nene's marrying her husband, Greg, who she was married to at one point before, but then Greg got greedy and started not treating Nene so right, so she got a divorce from him. But the love is still alive, so they want to get married again. Greg has these 5 adult children from a previous marriage. Now, we've never met the kids before. I knew he had other kids, but they're grown. And apparently, Greg doesn't necessarily have such a great relationship with the kids because Greg has never incorporated Nene and the kids. And last night, Nene attempted to try to fix the relationship, but Greg's oldest son, Damien, who's 36, wasn't having it. Take a look. Now, Nene won. Nene, we couldn't have said it better ourselves. I must say, you know, Greg's 5 kids, I don't know what they do for a living, but it looks like a whole lot of baggage. And I know that when the kids are older, you don't have to pay child support, but you figure with grown kids, especially 5 of them, there are at least maybe 4 grandchildren who might want something from their step-glam mom. It's a whole lot of baggage. And then Greg, you know, like Nene said, Greg did not, well, she was saying it throughout the show, Greg did not necessarily, you know, incorporate Nene and her children together. So, Greg, that's your fault. Nene, you're a better woman than I could be, because I mean, you know, once in my 40s, I could love a man with 5 kids, especially when none of the kids look like they have corner offices and they're CEOs. In other words, they're bringing something to the table, you know? The boy who was doing the screaming had a Leaks Entertainment t-shirt on. Never heard of Leaks Entertainment. All I'm saying is, you know, it might be too late for Greg to mediate between Nene and the kids, but it's not too late for Greg to have some sort of relationship with his kids. I mean, that whole thing involving Nene, it's too late. The oldest, I think, is only like a few years younger than Nene herself. And the rest of them, they could very well be these opportunists who just want to be on reality TV, which they're getting their moment now because of I Dream of Nene, but And then Nene does not have time to get to know these new kids. Greg, sorry. I'll tell you why. Because Brent, Nene's son, is now 14 years old. Now, for those of us with a teenager at home, we know what they're doing. They're up to things. Last night on the show, the boy Brent wanted to stay in Atlanta and go to high school. And he was basically saying to his mom, no, I don't want to go out to LA. And I don't care that you're on TV. Like, the kids aren't impressed at this age. It's all about them and wanting their parents and wanting some sort of authority, even though they act like they're going to buck authority. But so Nene is busy with her own life. And them 5 kids are grown. Greg's kids, they have to take care of themselves. You did her wrong with that one, Greg. But in my Nene voice, you did her wrong by not introducing her to your children a long time ago and making a relationship, but it is what it is. So Lamar Odom's father is lashing out against the Kardashians. Lamar and his dad, you know they've had a strained relationship. Lamar's dad, Joe, is 59 years old. Leave them drugs alone, okay? I mean, Mr. Odom, to my best, he's not on drugs now, but you know, it's no secret he had a problem back in the day. But this 50, he's the same age as Oprah. He's the same age as, you know, many of you in the audience. He's 59. Ooh, that's a hard life. Anyway, Joe is 59 and he claims that the Kardashians and reality TV put too much pressure on Lamar and forced Lamar to turn to drugs. Well, see, you're my people. You're with me on this one. No, Joe, you forced your son to turn to drugs. When his mother passed away at about 12 years old, you know, Joe, that was your time to step in and be a single father. But you were out there doing your drugs in the streets of Queens here in New York. And so your little boy had to be raised by his grandparents and suffer in his heart the loss of his mother and knowing that his father is out there in the streets doing it. So you caused your son, you gave him the drug gene too, by the way, but you caused your son by not straightening up and rising to the occasion. Now I'm gonna read you the following quotes. One of them comes from Joe and one of them comes from his son. Joe says, Kris Jenner, Kris has got something against my son, something against my family. Kris Jenner is very negative. She's an evil bee. She doesn't care about Lamar. She cares about their image and their money. And the money. Well, I agree. She cares about the image and the money, but she does care about Lamar as it relates to her daughter, like any parent does. You don't care about the boyfriend or girlfriend. You care about your kid's happiness as it relates to. So I do believe that Kris, at one point, did really care about you, and she probably still does care about your son, Joe. And, you know, it says a lot that Joe wasn't even invited to his son's wedding. It says even more that Lamar, I can't read you Lamar's entire rant on Twitter, but part of it said that, you know, my father's never even met Kris Kardashian, so Jenner, how's he gonna talk about a woman that he's never met? But with Kris, it's easy, because you could call her the devil just watching her through the TV. You know what I mean? You don't have to meet her. Here's Lamar's quote. How can a man who has not once called me to check on my well-being have the nerve to talk so recklessly about his own son? His own demons may be the only thing he gave to me. He disrespects the only family that has loved me without expecting anything in return. They are the only ones that have been here constantly for me during this dark time. During this dark time. I think Lamar just admitted something to us. Hang in there, Lamar. That's the last time, by the way, I'm gonna side with Kris Jenner and not say that she's mean and evil. Mr. Odom, you were way out of line for that one. Okay, so now let's talk about, well, you know, Amanda Bynes and Lindsay Lohan, we always do the updates on them. Those girls have been out of control for a while, but we're putting them on the back burner because there's a new starlet in the spotlight. It's time for a Miley Moment. Hit it! Miley's on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. That's not the cover this is. There's that tongue and just that irreverence. And anyway, inside, Miley talks about the fallout of the VMA performance that she did. She said that she's not bothered by the critics, but what does bother her is people who say that she's trying to be black. Some say Miley tries to appropriate black culture and use black background dancers like props. I would agree. I would agree. I would agree. I mean, it doesn't bother me because I'm just so used to it on account of the world around us. I'll explain in a moment. We talk race relations here on the show, so please don't start scratching and get nervous and ticky, okay? Hold on, let me read you the quote and then we'll go back to race. Okay, Miley says, I don't keep my producers or dancers around because it makes me look cool. Those aren't my accessories, they're my homies. Well, listen, white people take this in the best way. Some of you have been appropriating my people's culture longer than many of us have been alive. Why? Back in the day, Chuck Berry and Little Richard, their styles were stolen and given to, say it with me, Elvis is the one who went on and made all the money and became like the king of the world, while the other two, not as big. You know, it happens. It happened with rap music. It happened when Justin Timberlake came out. I think that black people gave Justin Timberlake a pass because Justin Timberlake wasn't trying so hard. It was just the soulful way that he was. It wasn't like like an affectation of silliness. The thing is that when young white people do the black thing, these same young white people grow up to be middle-aged white people. They take off the whole black accessory thing and they become white again. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? And, you know, I've watched this happen. You know, I grew up in a very mixed community. I watch, my son now, with his, his friends and whatnot, and, white girls loving up little black Kev, and, and his white friends sagging lower than my son could ever sag, and I have to, and yo, and all that stuff. Just, yeah, Miley, I mean, I see it, and you can't pick up black and put it down. Black is something that you are, and it is. That's all. How did I communicate that whole message, Suzanne? Was that messy?
Well, Wendy, you're my homie.
Oh. Well, then yo, Suzanne, you get it. Oh, and by the way, no dressing like Miley Cyrus for Halloween. Please. Every other girl is gonna use Halloween as a pass to get as naked as she wants. Even middle-aged women who look well are gonna use that as a pass to put on pasties and stick their tongue out. It's gonna be real special on Halloween. Okay. We've been telling you about Britney Spears' upcoming Vegas show, but it may already be in trouble. She recently announced a 2-year residency at Planet Hollywood, but they're having a problem with the tickets. You see, they've only sold out 3 shows. Oh. The way they do the tickets in Vegas is they do them in blocks. So they do them in blocks of 16 shows. They thought that they would sell out the whole first block of 16 like in 48 hours. It didn't happen. They only sold out 3 shows. The tickets aren't even really expensive either, which is horrible. I mean, the tickets start at under $70. The venue only holds 4,200 people, which, that's not Coliseum size. And so the concert people are really worried. Britney's manager, though, is denying these claims. I originally thought Britney being in Vegas was going to be a great idea. As a matter of fact, in my mind, I always think people going to Vegas is a great idea. But this Britney thing got me to thinking. I think the average age of a Britney, like the hardcore Britney fan who was there for Slave for You and everything, is probably around now maybe 30, 33 years old. So if you're 30 and 33 years old, Vegas is a lot of money, and I don't care what the government says, the economy hasn't turned around. Money and jobs are still hard to get out there, and everybody's watching their dime. To go out to Vegas, you've got to buy your plane ticket, you've got to stay in the hotel, you know, the drinks are like $25 a pop, then you're going to see a Britney Spears show, and even though the tickets are inexpensive for Britney, like if you're the average 33-year-old girl in Jersey, why go to Vegas when you can wait for Britney to appear at the PNC Art Center in Newark? You know? You know what I mean? And then, so I can see now where there's probably trouble. I've said more than a few times, I think Janet Jackson needs to open up in Vegas and take a residency. However, see? This is the crowd who would go see Janet Jackson, well-appointed people, you know, who would go and see Janet. However, and me, like, I'm a part of the Janet thing, too. An older audience, you know. However, for Janet, she doesn't have the same zhuzh as, for instance, Mariah Carey, who is even more appealing to people who are 15, to people who are 75. See, I think Mariah could do a long, long run in Vegas, just like Celine Dion, Elton John, and Shania Twain. The thing about Janet is that I don't think Janet has that certain tick to appeal to everybody. And many of us who grew up with Janet and who love Janet, we now have kids. And so we don't want to leave them alone because as soon as you leave the house, they're up to things. And we're busy moisturizing and holding on to whatever jobs we do have. So we don't have time to go out to Vegas when we could just wait for Janet to come to New York and see her at, well, the PNC Art Center. But I do think that Mariah in Vegas would be an excellent thing. And good luck to Britney and your tickets, girl. Hope that all works. Dina Lohan, Lindsay's mother, who's 51, she appeared in court yesterday. You know, she pled not guilty on that DWI charge. Well, that's what she wore to court. There's her lawyer with her. The judge suspended her license, for her driver's license, for 6 months, and she was driven away in a Rolls Royce. Yeah, well, this is her less than smart lawyer. I mean, who does that? Who goes to court in an exotic car like that? It just smacks of disrespect to the justice system. And then this woman's house is allegedly in foreclosure right now out in Long Island. You know, for those of us who pay our bills, we're the ones who have to pay that bill eventually. But, you know, there's the house, by the way. The fence divides the schoolyard and the house. That's a schoolyard. Can you imagine how many kids try to jump the fence and go to the Lohans' house and see what's all doing over there? And there was a time that her daughter, Lindsay, gave her like $40,000 to take care of, you know, back bills and things like that. I don't know what Dina used the money on, but the streets do talk. But anyway, Dina, we're watching you, and unfortunately, so are your children. Yeah. Okay. You know how we just talked about Joe Odom, and he's 59, and, you know, just, he looks a little older than 59. And I also mentioned Oprah is, you know, like the same age and whatnot. Well, the ones who are 59 who look good have nothing on Bruce Springsteen, who turned 64 years old last week. Wait a minute. When I show you this picture, you're immediately gonna wanna run and moisturize. So you look this good when you're 64. It's our hot shot of the day. Hit it. Pardon me. I don't see any surgery marks or anything. You know what? That is just natural Jersey good. He's 64 years old. He's in Brazil on tour. That's him running in the Brazilian water. And he says that constantly being on tour keeps him in shape. Not just any shape, Mr. Springsteen, ship shape. You look fantastic. Wow. Would we've got a terrific show for you, everybody. The first couple to be eliminated on Dancing with the Stars, Keyshawn Johnson and his partner, Sharna Burgess, are here. Plus, do you remember that Keyshawn was feuding with his famous neighbor, Justin Bieber, on account of Bieber was speeding through the neighborhood and everybody was hating? So I'm gonna ask him about that too. Plus, we're gonna get a visit from Sesame Street. The one and only Cookie Monster is here. But up next, from Star Magazine, Shallon Lester joins us with the inside scoop on the marriage crisis between Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones. Don't miss it. Welcome back. It's time for the Inside Scoop, here with the juiciest celebrity news from the Star Magazine. Please welcome Shallon Lester. Yay! Okay. I'm so glad that you're here to tell us about Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Ooh, we got some dirt, too.
They're one of my favorite couples,
Yes.
but I'll take dirt, too. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. Catherine got tired of being fourth on her husband's priority list. So he was battling cancer. That was priority number one for the last few years of their marriage. Then his son Cameron is in the federal penitentiary for 20 years. Sucks. Then his work, the Liberace movie. So then she's priority number 4. So she's like, fine, I'm gonna call you bluff. I'm gonna leave you. Unfortunately, this has backfired on her.
Right.
So he's like all over Europe, partying, looking great, winning Emmys.
Well, she's got the an issue with her
Yes, she's bipolar.
bipolar, and so she was in treatment.
She was in treatment in 2011, and Michael was so consumed with his health, his son, work, blah, blah, blah. She kind of felt like he abandoned her in her greatest hour of need.
We saw a lot of pictures where they were saying, you know, she's not eating and everything, and she
Right.
was very bony.
Yes.
Is she better now?
We have some recent pictures of her from a film festival in China during Emmy weekends, and she did look better, but to me, I think Michael's kind of winning this breakup a little bit.
Well, so do you think they're going to reconcile or just go through with the big D?
Well, I think it's going to depend on who you ask. If you ask him, he's going to be like, no. I think he's feeling maybe a little bit freer. He's doing really well. He's partying. His health is back. He can focus on his son and work. And she's sort of in more of a downward spiral. Chain smoking, losing weight.
But she's only 45.
Oh, is that what she says?
Well, I give her a pass on account of I like her, but I think she's been fudging about her age for years. But I think she's a very beautiful woman.
You know what? This is America. You don't even have to end up with the gender you were born into. Whatever age you want to be that age. Just be it.
There you
Whatever,
go.
girl. So if she wants to say she's 15, I'm a backer, because she's great.
Yeah, she is.
She's beautiful.
All right, we'll be watching that relationship now.
Yeah.
On to Simon Cowell and
yeah.
that relationship.
Yeah, and he's having some baby mama drama. Shocker.
Do you think?
Shocker. Didn't see that coming. Mel B actually said earlier this morning on a morning show that her and Simon are so in love. This is Lauren Silverman, his baby mama, the wife of his friend who he knocked up.
Yeah.
The way every girl dreams about it.
Yeah.
But then they got in a huge fight the other weekend because
Ooh,
she
look at them fighting.
Yeah, like hand gestures. When a man is gesturing with his hands, that's not a good sign.
Uh-huh.
Because she found some texts on his phone from an ex-girlfriend. And he's made it very clear to her, I am who I am. I'm not going to give up my harem of women. You know, it's kind of like the Supreme Court. Once you're in, like you're there for life. In terms of his exes.
I don't know the baby's mama's name, so
Lauren.
Lauren. I was about to
Silverman.
call her Trick. Thank you. Look, no, I don't. I'm sorry. You know, sorry. You know, she's. You know what, Lauren? What part of the don't you understand? Simon's not going to marry you. Simon's not going to give up his other women. By the way, I think that Simon is just playing around right now, even appeasing you, Lauren, because my thought is that Simon does not want to be looked at as the guy who broke up a marriage, not while his show is back. Simon doesn't want you like that.
Well,
And by the way, no other man will either.
Well, he told Ryan Seacrest. He hinted to Ryan Seacrest the other day that he's like, well, do you really think I'd let her be a single mom? Yeah.
Yeah, we do. And what we
Maybe
also
so.
think is that you're the kind of guy to also keep her across town, very well appointed, and what you'll do is you'll allow her the peace to date who she wants and choose to marry. You're not going to marry her, Simon. Who are you trying to fool?
Trying to fool.
I salivate reading about them. It's such a disgusting story. Let's talk about Liam Hemsworth's new girlfriend. Aiza Gonzalez.
Aiza Gonzalez.
Spicy.
She is a spicy meatball. Yes. Apparently, Aiza does not like all the attention she's getting from making out with Liam Hemsworth, Miley Cyrus's ex-fiance, because she stormed out of a press conference for the movie The Croods. I guess she voices one of the characters in that, because reporters wouldn't stop asking her about Liam and the makeout, and she's like, I don't want to talk about this subject. I don't even know what accent that was.
That's good. She's Mexican, everybody, and she's from a rich family, but she's trying to break into acting.
Yeah, yeah.
So what about the rumors of her plastic surgery? Isn't she only like 12?
Well, let's look at the photos.
Okay, do you have a before and after? Oh. Well, a nose job.
She fesses up to the nose job,
Okay.
but she is known as the Michael Jackson of Mexico.
Shut the front door, really?
Yes, yes.
So what else has she had done? I can't see, I'm squinting and looking.
Okay, I'm from Orange County, California, and we have a saying, plastic makes perfect. So, I think she has been sort of spending some time in my hometown. I mean, her cheeks look more defined. I mean, this is all just who knows? Who knows? Maybe it is just the nose job and she lost a little bit of baby fat and got some ombre extensions that are way too long. But
that was a read. Thanks, Shallon. You're our kind of people. You guys, make sure that you pick up the New Star magazine for all the celebrity news. Say hello to Shallon Lester and goodbye at the same time. Next, the first eliminated Dancing with the Stars contestants, Keyshawn Johnson and his partner, Sharna Burgess, are here. Don't miss it. Excited to meet our next guest. Okay, our next guest is an ESPN analyst and an NFL star. He was the first celebrity to be voted off of Dancing with the Stars. Take a look.
The couple with the lowest combined total of judges' scores and fewer votes, and therefore leaving right now, is Keyshawn and Sharna.
For a guy that's never even bobbed his head in a car, I think that the fact that I could have the experience to dance and learn what dancing is all about, and Sharna teaching me, is something amazing to me.
Isn't he cute? Please welcome Keyshawn Johnson and his dancing partner, Sharna Burgess. Never met.
No, we have not.
Yes. I remember when you used to play for the Giants.
Jets.
Jets. Sorry.
That's all right.
But welcome to our show. You both look terrific.
Thank you.
Keyshawn, relax. Face the crowd.
I'm just...
It looks like you're trying to run.
No, I'm like... Yeah, okay. Is that better?
There you go. Although that's how rumors get started. Listen.
Such a mess.
So you lost a lot of weight on the show.
Yeah, I have.
How much did you lose?
I would say about 25 pounds.
Yeah. Wow.
I was a chunky 8 in the summertime.
Yeah, and you were only practicing and then dancing for what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, about three and a half weeks.
See, Dancing with the Stars is a beast regarding the weight. Yes. Now, Sharna, I've never seen you on the show before. Is this your first season?
My second. I was with Andy Dick last season.
Oh, right. He was so distracting, you almost forget who he was dancing with.
he was enough. He was amazing.
So what's your reaction to being eliminated first?
It's such a shame. I think I knew when we got our scores for our second dance, I knew the balance between votes and scores and the way it was going to go, that it was going to be us. It was just an instinct. And that's such a shame because you saw the growth in Keyshawn from week 1 to week 2, and it was only going to get better and better. And I think had it have been the old format where people could have voted for us on week 2, he would have been in there and in there till nearly the end.
I thought Bill Nye, science guy, was going to be the one to get taken home.
Yeah,
sent out.
I think a lot of people did, but he's got such a following. crazy. Like 3 million hits on his cha-cha video from week 1.
Wow.
3 million.
So when you all performed, then we understood. It's not that you're a bad dancer, but I just expected you to be a better dancer as an NFL player, only because all the NFL players, they just seem to be such good dancers. And then when you motorboated her, I was like, oh my gosh. I knew that was an ad-lib. That was an ad-lib, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That wasn't something that was choreographed in.
No, she just wanted me to bring a little bit more, and I said, for me, I was just like,
you were having fun.
Having fun. I was just like, hey.
Yeah.
It's always supposed to be a hint towards it.
Yes.
But by no means was he meant to be all up in it. But you know what though? Adrenaline and in the moment, and all I was saying to him was just have fun and go for gold.
Yeah.
Like just give it everything.
Yeah.
And so we did. It's
You
fine.
did.
A little bit of motorboating never hurt anyone.
Never hurt anyone. Okay.
I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but I guess it is.
It's not that big of a deal. All right, so forget Dancing with the Stars. It's on to your neighborhood. Okay. Keyshawn lives right across the street from the Jacksons and right around the corner from Justin Bieber.
Enough said, huh?
Yes. Okay. So explain to us the trouble that you had with Justin Bieber zooming through the neighborhood in his sports cars. Did he almost hit you? Did he knock over the garbage cans? What's he?
No, I have a 4-year-old daughter, London, and at the time, I was getting ready to put her. I was taking her out of the car seat, and we were getting ready to walk the neighborhood. You know, like an old man, 6 o'clock, we're gonna walk the neighborhood.
Yes.
That's what she,
Yes. Uh-huh.
And he came flying by, or somebody came flying by.
Yes.
And I saw him once, and I saw him twice. So I got in my car, and I just kind of went over to his house and, let him know that.
Yeah.
We're not having it.
It's not going down like that in the neighborhood.
No, not my house.
So now, has he moved? Do you still live there?
No, I do still live there. However, I have moved to Newport Coast because my oldest son is 15, plays football. So I'm kind of going between Newport Coast and Calabasas because of the football.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with Justin Bieber, trust me.
Right.
It has nothing.
Right.
Even though people want it to be about Justin Bieber because I'm selling my house.
Uh-huh.
Do you really think I'm selling my house because Justin Bieber?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, enough about Bieber. Let's talk the Jacksons. So look.
Oh, God.
No, please.
Can we talk dancing?
No more dancing. So you live right across the street from the Jacksons. Like if you
a nosy neighbor,
if
basically.
you back out of your driveway and keep going,
you back into their driveway.
Wow. Tell us what you see.
They're cool with me. I mean, the family is great. The kids are good with my kid. I mean, it's.
Do the kids who can drive zoom through the neighborhood in fast cars?
Well.
Oh.
Prince is learning how to drive.
Yes.
He does a good job.
Yes.
He's learning how to drive. He does a good job.
He hasn't hit the mailbox yet.
No, he has not hit the mailbox.
Any wild parties?
No, they don't party.
Any pot smoking?
No, I haven't seen any of that.
All right.
No, they really are. They're sweet. I swear to you, they are. The mom
Very
is
nice.
just. I mean, every time she comes in and out of the driveway, she always waves.
She drives?
rolls. No, the driver. But she waves. She slows down. She waves every single time. I mean, they're real cool. I mean, they're normal to me. So I don't know.
You're easy to be cool too, though. You're easy on the eyes, and I like your conversation. Thank you. Very likable. Keyshawn Johnson, everybody, and Sharna Burgess, and Dancing with the Stars airs Monday nights at 8 on ABC. Let me ask you a question. What would you do if your boyfriend chose video games over you? I know what I'd do. Ask Wendy is next. Welcome back. It's time for Ask Wendy. Who's first? How you doing?
How you doing, Wendy?
I'm doing well. How can I help?
Hi, Wendy. My name is Elizabeth.
Okay.
You're fabulous, by the way.
Thanks,
I love
Elizabeth.
you. So last week I went with my boyfriend and we bought Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
I was trying to be a team player. I'm trying to be a good girlfriend, play along. It's been a week and now he plays all the time. From 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning, I can't sleep. Last night we went out to dinner and we had a little romantic time. And then he went and played Grand Theft Auto immediately after.
Yeah.
What should I do? Should I throw it out? Should I break it? I don't know.
Well, does he work?
It's unclear. He's an artist.
So he's starving for now. And how old are you, honey bun? Just asking.
I'm 29.
Okay. Grand Theft Auto is a game that made $3 billion in a 3-day period. We bought it for our son also. It just came out. You've got to give them at least 3 weeks to a month to obsess over it. It's like us with handbags. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I buy a new handbag, I'm in the handbag of my closet, like always organizing and, you know, coveting, shining, smelling.
Yeah.
Give him a chance to do that. He made time for dinner and made time for sex. Let him have his time with this game and then start putting the full court complaint on after a month.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
He's got to get it out of his system. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. How you doing?
Wendy. How you doing?
Good.
My name is Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi. I have an 18-year-old, and I just recently started dating after a 3-year hiatus. Now, my question is, I recently started dating someone, but he lives out of town. So when he comes over, it's kind of expensive to have him go to a hotel and stay at a hotel.
Yes.
But my daughter lives at home.
Yes.
So is it inappropriate to have him and her in the same house when it's fairly fresh and new?
Yes.
Or do I kick her out?
No. It might be fairly expensive, but that's part of the planning. Every time you guys see each other, he doesn't have to stay in an expensive hotel. He could just stay at some place where he crashes his head for the 6 hours that he's there. But yeah, you shouldn't have him in the house with your daughter. And then by 21, kick her out so you can be up to things without her, okay? All right, very well. Everybody up next, Cookie Monster's gonna stop by and talk about what's happening on Sesame Street this season. Keep it here. Welcome back. Our next guest is the only one that I know likes cookies more than I do. He's here to tell us all about the 44th season of Sesame Street. Please clap it up for the one and only Cookie Monster.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Me not know
How you
love
doing, Cookie?
Oh, me terrific. How you doing?
Hey, now that you're here, Cookie Monster. So how are things over at Sesame Street?
Oh, everything terrific. We having terrific time, singing songs, eating cookies.
Yes.
Me living the life.
Now, I understand that this season you are really concentrating on self-control.
Yeah. You know, over the years, me struggle with self-control issues.
I know.
As you know, it's not easy for Monster.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to cookies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well?
So me learning strategies to help me control myself.
Well, Cookie Monster, here in my hand, I've got a beautiful cookie.
Cookie! Oh, cookie, me want cookie.
No, Cookie Monster, I'm gonna help you get some self-control. Now, this is the deal.
Okay, what deal?
You can have one cookie now.
Okay, yeah.
Or
What?
a whole plate of cookies after I talk with you.
Oh, this dilemma.
One now.
That smell good.
Or a whole plate later.
Okay, this psychological problem. Me got trying to. Oh, what should we do? Should we eat cookie now or wait?
Well, if
What
you're
audience
working
think?
on self-control,
Yeah.
you should wait for the whole plate.
You know what?
Okay?
Me gonna wait.
Okay.
But you know what? Me gonna use strategy right now and not look at cookie.
There you go.
Me not going
I'll
to
help
look.
you out by putting it over here.
But it smells so yummy.
Say, Cookie, I saw in the news yesterday
what?
there is an underwater creature that looks just like you.
Whoa!
Is this one of your relatives? Is this one of your family members?
Whoa, you know what? That me cousin Morty. Hey, Morty!
I should have known.
Look at that. Me to make his face.
So you've been perfect.
Yeah.
So I understand you're starring in a new movie.
Oh, yeah, well, me starring in a bunch of new movies.
Oh.
Well, you know, me big movie buff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so,
Tell us about the Cookies Crumble picture.
Yeah, it's called, Cookies Crummy Pictures, and me do parodies of some of me favorite movies.
I love it.
That Cookies of the Caribbean.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Now I hear that you have a new DVD. Is it true that you're eating healthy?
Well, you know, of course, me eat healthy. Me love cookies, but but me also eat, you know, meat and fish and fruit and vegetable and bicycle and canoe.
Cookie.
Me eat everything.
Cookie.
What?
Guess what? You survived this whole
Me did it.
conversation.
Oh boy, oh boy,
So,
oh boy.
Guess what I have for you?
What the?
A
Oh.
whole plate of cookies.
Cookie.
It was really nice talking with you, Cookie Monster.
Yeah, terrific talking to you.
Cookie Monster's new DVD,
no.
C is for Cooking, is in stores now. Everyone in our studio audience is going home with their copy. And you can watch Sesame Street, produced by the nonprofit organization Sesame Workshop. Up next, it's time for fan feedback. Keep it here. It's time for fan feedback. Earlier in Hot Topics, we were talking about Lamar Odom's father, Joe, blaming the Kardashians for his son's alleged drug problems. Well, Lamar defends the Kardashian family on Twitter last night, and here's what some of you said on my Facebook page. Lorene R. says, I think Joe is making excuses for his son who needs to take responsibility for his own actions. Chloe has Lamar's back more than anyone. Sharon V. writes, if Joe is looking for someone to blame, he should start by looking in the mirror. Real men teach their sons how to be real men and how to handle tough situations. And finally, Joy M. says, really? This coming from a dad that only calls his son when he needs money, sneakers, tickets, and food. You also had a lot to say about my Miley Cyrus comments regarding racism and race relations. So I'll address those tomorrow on Hot Topics. Thank you all for your comments. Be part of the lively conversation on my Facebook and Twitter page. Keep it here, because we'll be right back. Ow, I had fun, but I have to run. Keyshawn Johnson, thank you so much. And Sharna Burgess, thank you. Cookie Monster, nice to have you here. And of course, my studio audience. I love you for watching today. Don't forget, the Hot Talk panel is tomorrow. See you next time.